Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the ANZ Stadium in Sydney for the final match of the 2010 Investec Tri-Nations, featuring Australia against New Zealand. The All Blacks have an unbeaten run of 14 matches coming into this tie and are bidding to complete the competition as undefeated champions. If they remain unbeaten, it will be the first time a team has done this since the format of the competition changed back in 2003. However, the Australians will have something to say about that. They're on a high after a close and hard-fought victory over the Springboks in Pretoria last weekend, and they'll believe they've got what it takes to ruin the party on the All Blacks. There's a full house expected here this evening, with an attendance expected to be about just over 70,000 people, in what should be a good mix of both home and away fans. Some history of the stadium now. The first time these teams played here was back in 1999. That night, the Wallabies enjoyed a handsome victory. However, since then, New Zealand have notched up some impressive away wins. The last time these teams played here, it was the Wallabies who emerged victorious from the occasion. As we get a look at the team sheet tonight, we'll start with the New Zealand pack. Tony Woodcock and Kevin Mualamu, familiar names in the front row. Owen Franks takes over from brother Ben at tight head side, while Iron Man Brad Thorne partners Tom Downey in the second row. Victor Vito, Richard McCaw and Kieran Reid make up a strong back row. Vito takes over from Jerome Kino, who's demoted to the bench, and Richard McCaw captains his side for the 52nd time in the number 7 jersey. Kieran Reid makes up the rest of the back row. There's only 2 changes in the back line for New Zealand since their last outing. That's Piru Upu and Aaron Cruden stepping in for 9 and 10 respectively. Wipu replaces Jimmy Cowan, who's on the bench, and Cruden steps in for the injured Danny Carter. Israel Dagg and Corey Jane are on the wings, with the ever-reliable Mills Molina taking the full-back jersey. There's a strong bench name for New Zealand. That's Jerome Kino, Jimmy Cowan, Colin Slade and Rennie Ranger amongst others. Look for these guys to be introduced towards the latter stages of the match. There's Joe Rocca-Coco. He'll be disappointed he didn't make the squad tonight. His place was taken by Colin Slade, who, if he comes off the bench, will make his test debut here this evening. It's the same pack that started against South Africa last weekend. Stephen Moore steps in for his 50th cap in the front row and is partnered by Ben Robson and Salisa Muafu. Mark Chisholm and Nathan Sharp in the second row, and it's a dynamic back row with Captain Rocky Elson playing blindside, Danger Man David Pocock on the open side, and Ben McCallum taking the number 8 jersey. There's only one change in the backline for Australia from last weekend, and that's Lockie Turner stepping in for the injured Drew Mitchell on the wing. Will Guinea and Quade Cooper will marshal the 9-10 channel, both of the Queensland Reds, while Makito and his Brumbies teammate Adam Ashley Cooper will cover the centres. There's an interesting and exciting back three name for Australia this evening. That's Lockie Turner, James O'Connor and Curtly Beale. Average age there of just 21, and all three very keen to run the ball from deep. Exciting talents to watch. The crowd are definitely up for this one. They're about to see 2 of the best teams in the world rugby collide head to head in what should be a magnificent spectacle and a fantastic occasion. Here come the All Blacks, led out by Captain Richie McCaw. It's his 52nd time to captain the country tonight, and he takes the record from Sean Fitzpatrick as the player most times capped as captain. There's the man in question tonight. He'll have his hands full with David Pocock, his opposite number. In my opinion, that really is one of the key head-to-heads and will determine a lot this match. Both these players provide counter-attacking opportunities, which is really an important weapon with such quality backlines that we have on the pitch tonight. Speaking of quality, there's a lot of young talent in this Wallaby team. They're really going to have to attack this game from the get-go if they won't have any chance of quenching the Kiwi flair. Their backs plays exquisitely against the South Africa team last night, and the conditions on the pitch suggest that running rugby will be on show here again. And here come the Australian team. The smoke goes up, the crowd are cheering. They'll really be up for this one. They've got a bit of pride to restore after already going down to New Zealand earlier in this series. However, a lot of questions being asked. Will they last the full 80? They had a tough game last week in Pretoria and only got back on Monday. Will they show in the last quarter? Look for Robbie Deans to utilise his bench, as it's coming towards the end of the season and we can expect to see some tired legs out there towards the end. A lot of guys want to perform out here tonight. The Autumn International is just around the corner. No more anyone than this guy here, Aaron Cruden. It's his first test start this evening, and I'm sure he'll have nerves, but he's got to show that he can compete with Dan Carter for that 10 jersey. Big chance for him this evening, and he'll be looking for the support of his teammates. There's his opposite number, Quade Cooper. Yet another key head-to-head battle on the pitch. 2 young out halves. They'll really be battling for that 10 channel.